and throughout social media. We'll get you out of here well before the top of the hour. We'll give you enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And, that's what we do here on the drive-thru is we give you live free sports picks from the primetime games Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we get help from our pick dogs. Let's go take a look at our Group 4 tonight's show. We got Chris Ruffolo will join us. We got Jeff Jeter, Brian Bitler with his college football trophy there, number 1 in college football this past season. Joe Duffy in the center square. Jovan Burts will join us. And hope we get sound from Goran here as he's having some technical issues. Get it corrected. But we'll get his pick some way or other. And, of course, Rod Zawacky. Red Hot Rod. Are we looking for 5-0 week, Rod?
Yeah, we're looking for that big 5-0.
Let's go for that 5-0 tonight. All right, let's take a look at the lineup and how they'll line up in tonight's show. All right, we've got Duffy, Zawacky, Ruffolo, Burts, Bitler, Jeter, Kucar, and I will close this one out. All right, Chris, let's close out this week with some winners. We've been doing well on the show.
Absolutely, we have. We've been absolutely roasting it on the show. We've been roasting people's books, so let's finish it strong, head into the weekend.
Absolutely. All right, let's welcome Joe Duffy to the show. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs. Premium Joe, how things going?
All right, but yeah, it's Brian Bitler trying to show me up. He's got a college football number 1 trophy, and I got my number 2 Ohio State shirt here. So he's got to get one up on me, I guess.
I guess he does. But you got a good college basketball team. They like to cover, which makes us all happy. All right, let's
march.
All right, speaking of covering, here's a team that doesn't like to cover. That's the Cavs. They're going to be hosting the Denver Nuggets. This one starts at 7 Eastern time. NBA League Pass Channel televised. Denver, a road favorite, 9, total 226.
Yeah, Denver's dropped 2 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. So a lot of people be like, all right, they're ice cold. Why would you want to lay points on the road with them? But big road favorites in a losing streak, 265, 165, and 11. And score phone clients that go back to me for, forever. Back when I got started in this business in 1988, there was some pretty sophisticated software. It's called Point Spread Analyzer. It was written by a guy by the name of Dr. Mike Orkin. Like I said, if you Google him, he's a very prominent statistician out there. And we discovered this. It had to do with betting on road favorites under some very specific circumstances. I know it's been winning since 1980. It does apply here. It works in the postseason and the regular season. Road teams playing against a bad team and in a bad stretch of defensive efforts are undervalued to the tune of 133, 83, and 1. And that's when the road team's been struggling defensively. They are usually undervalued in these circumstances. Also, as I've said this year to my arsenal, I've added a couple of the projection software. Our number 1 projection software, they run 10,000 simulations, and this model has Denver covering at an impressive 68% rate. So Denver, minus the 8.5. I think you said that maybe they're up to 9 in some places. We'll lay the 9. W marks the center square.
All right, Joe Duffy here on the Nuggets, laying the 9 against the Cavs. All right, Chris, boy, you look at the Cavaliers' defense with giving up over 50% shooting. I think it was 53 in the past 5 games. You look at their losses, I think 6 of their past 7 losses have been by double digits. It's just a sorry team.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, that you can think, you have the 2 ends of the spectrum with the Cavs. The Cavs that, were winning a championship maybe, 5-6 years ago, and now they're back to the Cavs that couldn't find their way out of a paper bag, couldn't cover themselves with a bed sheet when they're going to sleep, and now I think we're in the same boat with the Cavs here. Like you said, 0-10 in their last 10 against the spread. If you could stretch that number to 11, I think it'll be 0-11 against the spread. I love the Nuggets here laying the 9.
All right, 7 Eastern time, NBA League Pass Channel to play here. The Nuggets laying the 9 points here against the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, Joe, pretty good night of action on hoops. A lot of small college basketball as well. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium as you're doing very well in college hoops?
Yeah, and I'm going to steal that from Chris. Can't cover themselves with a bed sheet when they go to bed. Tonight, though, we got NBA. Like I said, since January 1st, things have been going very well in the NBA, and it's only been about 10 days since I acquired another new nice system that applies tonight. It's the rage of the industry. That applies on our side. We also have some totals, 4 totals, so 5 winners in all tonight on Pick Dogs from Joe Duffy.
All right, Joe Duffy picks 5 winners all over at the site. Get his one-day pass right now. Of course, take those winnings and make that upgrade to the long-term pass to see what Joe offers there, 3, 7, and 30 all sports pass. That means Every play that Joe releases will be yours when you pick up one of those passes. You set the length of period, and you'll get the plays from Joe there at Big Dogs Premium. All right, Joe, as always, great having your show. Continued success, and we'll talk with you next week.
We shall.
All right, everybody. Joe Duffy here on the drive-through. All right, we'll continue on. And let's welcome someone who's been red hot on the show as well, and that is Rod Zawacky. You'll find him here on Big Dogs Premium, of course, in the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern Time every single day with Mitch, Chris, and Brian Bitler. Rod, how you doing? Looking for 5-0 week?
Doing good, Tony. Let's try to get that big 5-0 to sweep the week.
Let's sweep the week here with Rod Zawacky. He's been red hot on the show. All right, Rod, you're going to be looking at this game 8 Eastern Time. This one will be over on NBA League Pass channel as it's the Bucks hosting the Thunder. Bucks laying 10.5, total 232.
For me in this game, we see the Bucks. And speaking of teams that can't cover themselves with a bed sheet, they can't even win the game, much less cover themselves with a bed sheet. The Bucks have lost 5 straight games. They came off that road trip, and you figured they'd get a win over Toronto. No, they lost back-to-back against Toronto, and they weren't even close. This Bucks team does not look very good. And now you're going to come in playing the OKC team, who loves to play on the road. The OKC is 7-3 ATS. Their last 10 in Milwaukee. 1-1 ATS. In the last 6 games, straight up off of a loss, which is what they are here. ATS, their last 4 road games versus a team with a winning home record. And for me, just the way the Bucks have been playing, we're just gonna keep betting on the Bucks and laying these numbers and hope they get a win. Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna go outright and I'm gonna take the OKC Thunder to beat the Bucks again, like they did on Valentine's Day. The Thunder, Valentine's Day, I think they come back here and go right again. Give me the OKC Thunder on the money line to upset 6 losses in a row.
All right, big play here from Rod. I would take it to 10 units for the week if that hits, because I think you also had a money line hit. So that would be a big week for Rod Zawacky. I think that'd be our best of any capper for the week if this pops in. Oklahoma City Thunder, money line plus 460 against the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, Chris, this Bucks team looked pretty sad defensively. Drew Holiday missing from the lineup, and they've really suffered on the defensive end.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, you look at the Bucks. I had them yesterday with the Raptors, and that was just a big step-up spot for Toronto. And now tonight on a back-to-back, some people say, the Bucks are frustrated with how that game went. The Raptors had caught them with their pants down, and I think that Oklahoma City on a back-to-back, an Oklahoma City team that plays their best on the road. I could see a money line play. I stuck with the points, but I can definitely see a money line play here.
No, I can see it as well. The Raptors beat you in the first game of the series, right? You expect a response from Milwaukee. No, it was like a 20-point game in the second half there, Rod.
Oh, yeah, it was just a blowout again. It was like you didn't even show up and play. So now we're going to guess that this is the spot you're going to show up and play? No, thanks. I'll take the OKC Thunder to beat you again, as they whooped you on Valentine's Day. So.
Alexander back in the lineup, the leading scorer for the Thunder, back in the lineup now for OKC, and the money line here play. That would take Rod to about 10 units for the week with this one pops in, because he had a money line as well hidden with Iowa. So do the math there, just about 10 units if this pops in for the week here from Rod Zawacky. All right, Rod. Rod's been red hot. We see an NBA over 400, right at 400 units of profit. What you got going on over Big Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we had a nice day yesterday. Swept the College Board. Tonight I've got Rod's Steak Friday 5-pack up there. I've got NBA triple for you, and I got 1 NHL, 1 college basketball. Don't miss out on these. We're going to have the book.
All right, guys, that's Steak Friday, so get on board with Rod Zawacky over at Big Dogs Premium. Get that Steak Friday pass tonight. Get those winnings and convert it to a long-term pass. Heck, just get the 30 all sports bet. Rod is just giving you winners week after week here on the drive-thru, and it's time to get on board with him. Every play that Rod releases at the site, that would be NBA, college hoops, and the NHL for 30 days when you pick up that 30-day all sports pass on the site. All right, Rod, as always, great having your show. We'll be rooting at OKC Moneyline home. That gets you nearly 10 units for the week.
You bet. Let's get it. Let's kick off the weekend big, and then let's have ourselves a monster weekend.
Absolutely. Much we can hear Rod Zawacky. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. We'll talk to you next week, but we'll watch you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Mitch in the morning show.
You bet. See everybody tomorrow morning. You have yourself a good weekend, Tony, as well.
All right, have a good night. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Of course, it'll be Rod, Mitch, Brian Bitler, Chris, and of course, Ron Romanelli shows up on the weekend on those weekend shows. And speaking of that, it's a good time to mention to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. It all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with the morning show with Mitch every single day. Of course, we do have the YouTube premium shows that run as well. And of course, the drive-thru begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And of course, the MMA show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, subscribe. And of course, give us that thumbs up, that like, because it greatly helps us. It helps us build our audience, Chris.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, you see all the primo stuff that we bring out for everyone who subscribes. You know, we have the drive-thru, we have the morning show, we have all our videos. It's all because of you guys and all the support that we can get from the Pick Dogs family. And you know, all like Tony says, all the likes and all the subscriptions help get the product out to new and fresh faces. But no matter what, you know, we still appreciate all the support. It's crazy what Pick Dogs has done in just over a year. So it's absolutely crazy.
Absolutely crazy, guys. A lot more picks coming up. So give us that thumbs up, that like. We greatly appreciate it. Still a lot more picks coming. We'll have both games of the ESPN doubleheader for you, by the way, from the NBA as well on the show. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Now it's time for Chris. He came in with a nice winner last night with UCLA. And now you're looking at this Pelicans team to host the Suns, 8 Eastern Time, NBA League Pass Channel. Suns road favorites 3.5, total 230.5.
Yeah, and you know, I'm starting to look at some of these, you know, these lines that come out, and I'm trying to figure out when the odds makers are going to figure out that you can't put a low number on a Pelicans game. I mean, you look at what's been happening since the new year. 19-3-1 to the over for the Pelicans, and they're going over that total by almost 11 points a game. And you know, it really doesn't matter how high the number is getting either. I mean, Pelicans 5-1 to the over, when it's a total of at least 230. The league's hitting at 67% to over that number of the games like that this season, and you know, since over the last 5 years, hitting at over almost 57%. And the Suns' defense, you know, this has been an improved Suns' defense over the course of this year. You know, with DeAndre Ayton anchor in the middle, Chris Paul and Devin Booker at the top, but they're also 4-1 to the over as well. And you know, they gave up 128 points to the Nets in that utter brutal collapse earlier this week. You know what? I just think that 230.5 is a gift. It's a late Christmas present, whatever, late Valentine's Day gift, whatever you want to treat yourself to. I thought this line before it opened last time was going to be around 240 or closer, even somewhere in that ballpark, high 230s, low 240s. To see it at 230.5, that it's someone must have hit the 0 next to the 9 or something by accident. I don't know, but either way, we'll take it. Over 230.5 is going to be the play here. Take it cash easy tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you there on that pick there, Chris. I believe here when you look at the Suns, if you look at their recent form, their defense has been horrific. They're giving up nearly about 49% shooting, and their three-point defense has not been well. I think what you're seeing here, this line is based on the course of the entire season from the Suns, but if you look at the way they've been playing defense of late, it's not been good. So I agree with you there on that pick. Looking over total of 230.5. All right, Chris, so let's take a look here over at Pick Dogs Premium. You're starting to heat up in some college hoops, getting close to that 500 units of profit. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Guys, we're starting to climb back to the top of the mountain after a bit of a rough middle and late January, and I'm telling you, we're gonna get there by tournament time. Don't even question that for a second. Tonight, you know, the full court press went off at 6. I was able to repurpose some of those games. So for those of you who weren't able to get in on it earlier, I've got my Friday 5-point swing, 3 college hoops, 3 NBA, 2 college hoops for tonight. You know what, guys? Those are going to be some of your best plays for the evening. I also got a 3-pack for the NHL up there. Or hop on one of those long-term passes, 3 days, 7 days, 30 days, even the 3-day pass. You know, for the price of 2 of those packages tonight, for an extra $10, you can get an extra 2 days worth of picks. You know, it's just that simple. You're going to get the whole weekend. We give out tons of plays, tons of chances for you to make your money. Build a bankroll for next week. Build a bankroll for whatever you need it for. Or guys, the season passes up there, the 2-for-1 capper deals. We still got the YouTube premium subscription. Guys, we're dealing out winners. We're handing out, you know, money left, right, and center. We're taking it from your book and putting it in your pocket. Just don't miss out on this. There's too many possibilities, too many opportunities for you guys over at Pick Dogs Premium. Take advantage of them.
Take advantage there from Chris Ruffolo over at Pig Dogs Premium. You see the numbers there, plus 470 units. You've got the 2-for-1 capper promotion going on. You also have the long-term passes here from Chris. You want to try them out for a day, do that, but then make the upgrade with those winnings and go long-term with Chris Ruffolo over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's got that 3, 7, and 30-day all sports pass. There'll be every play he releases on the site. You just set the time period over on his profile page. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. And of course, we want to remind everyone, keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in. It helps our audience grow. And of course, 7-Finger Diddler. Always appreciate that support there in the chat room. All right, let's continue on. Time bringing Jovan Burts. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium, one of the newest cappers you'll find on the site. It's been there over a month. And let's go ahead and welcome him into the show. Let's grab him up here. Boy, we got a lot of cappers on the show now, Chris. Hey, Jovan, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, fellas. How y'all?
Oh, can't complain. Complain. Things going well. It's been going well on the show from all the cappers, and you can help us contribute here to a great week. And you're going to be looking at Game 2 of this ESPN doubleheader. LA Clippers to host Utah Jazz at Jazz road favorites 5, total 224.5. Will you get in front of this big freight train, the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I'm jumping in front of the freight train and rolling with the Clippers tonight. Now, my logic is this. Kawhi Leonard has been out for the last 3 games with a leg contusion, a bruise. And Paul George has missed the last 7 games with a toe injury. Now, after Wednesday's loss, they had to look at each other and say, we're coming back to bust these dudes' ass. You know, we all know that the Utah Jazz has just been running roughshod over the league. They're 22-7 against the spread, 23, 24-5 straight up, and something's got to give. Now, it won't sit well with the rest of their team if they don't come back tonight, the number 1 team in the league, and come back on Sunday against Brooklyn to play them. So I just think they're coming back tonight, or either one of them, one or both. But anyway, both teams are in the top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency numbers, as well as scoring. And the Clippers are actually 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 following a double-digit loss at home, and 5-2 in their last 7 as an underdog. For those reasons, I'm rolling with the Clippers.
All right, Jovan Burts here rolling with the Clippers. All right, Chris, how do you see this one? The Clippers lose game 1. You know, game 2, this might be a rematch game here. Like Jovan was saying, maybe Kawhi Leonard, maybe Paul George comes up, and they shoot the ball very well, and they responded after bad losses.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, if I would check closer to game time to check on Kawhi's status, because I'm still seeing him as questionable, and that's going to be a big deciding factor for this. I was still on the Jazz this morning, but then again, I got that number around 2.5. I think I played it again at 3. Now that it's up to 5, it's sort of that no play zone. I was playing it up to about -4. For me, it's just, I tell people all the time, back in hot teams like this, it's like riding the bus. If you miss one stop, if you miss getting off one game, it's not the end of the world because they've made you that much money. So you know what? I don't think you can really take it's. I'm not taking a pass here. I'm just saying you can't really go wrong with either side, especially at +5. I think you can make a case for both sides.
Yeah, big line move here. The game plan 3, the game plan 4, Jovan, and you win no matter who wins when you take the 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
If you took Utah early, you could take the Clippers late, get the middle. Me, myself, we'll sprinkle a little bit of money line on it, especially if it's confirmed that either one or both play.
Okay, so look at a possible money line if you get a confirmation there of the play. For the show, Jovan Burts here on the Clippers plus the 5. All right, Jovan, really good night of action, hoops and college hoops. A lot of small college going on. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so I have my For the Love of Money Friday going, little 3-pack, 2 college games and 1 NBA game. Then I got my, or you could, put a little bit of flavor on it with value and get my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day. It's all there on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Play.
Absolutely, guys. Get on board with Jovan Burts over at Pig Dogs Premium, as well as Sports Chat Place. He's got the long-term pass up there. You'll get every play that he releases at the site. You just set the term. If you want to try them out for one day, you can do that. my recommendation is get those winnings and then go with the upgrade to the long-term pass from Jovan Burts over at Pick Dogs. All right, Jovan, as always, great having the show. Great luck tonight. Have a great weekend. You're back on Monday.
Yeah, have a good weekend, fellas. See y'all on Monday.
All right, Jovan Burts here on the drive-through. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Guys, reminder, that thumbs up, that like, we greatly appreciate it. It helps us grow our audience. And now it's time to welcome to the show Brian Bitler. He bookends the show Mondays and Fridays, but you get him every day on the morning show with Mitch and Company. He'll be there tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So let's go ahead and bring Brian Bitler to the show. You know, he was showing off his trophy there pre-show. Let's see how you're doing today, Brian.
Pretty good. Actually, that was my Philadelphia Journalism Award, not my college football trophy. You know, I got to keep up with my Bash brother, Joe D'Amico. But, you know, I'm just trying to keep up with him.
Absolutely keeping up with Joe D'Amico. All right, Brian, you're going to look at some late night Mountain West action. All right, let's take a look at this one as we got Boise State to host Utah State. Boise State is going to be laying 1.5. Total sits here at 142. In this game, you can watch this one over on Fox Sports 1. How do you see it?
I'll tell you what, this easily could have been a premium for me. I really love this game. I've found fading a team that won on a back-to-back spot, just like yesterday with USC Upstate against Presbyterian. It's been financially successful for me this college basketball season because we've seen a lot of back-to-back games with the same opponents. Utah, the road team in this, the road team is 10-3 last 13 when these two teams have met up, and Utah State 18-7 against the spread last 25 games on Friday night. I really think this is do or die for them in the Mountain West. Really need this game. So, I don't think you'll need the 1.5, but I'm going to take it for safety.
All right, Brian here will be on the Utah State Aggies plus 1.5 against Boise State. All right, Chris, looking at this game here at the Boise State and Utah State. No, the people have been critical when Boise State had that great start that they were playing a lot of weak opponents. Their schedule strength wasn't that much, but Utah State has defended well.
Oh, they have, absolutely. And I mean, you can look at the home and away splits for both these teams. You know, Utah State's only given up 60.8 points on the road per game on the road this season. Boise State's given up only 58 at home. You know, the conference numbers, these two teams are just playing really well in conference play in terms of defense as well. Utah State only giving up 58.8 points per game in conference, and Boise State giving up 65. This was a hard one for me to make a call on the side. I personally like the under more in this game. This is going to be my fanboy game tonight. I think I'm just going to sort of settle in with some popcorn, just kind of watch this one, see how it plays out. But I think I'm leaning towards the under. But, you know, Utah State, viable play in this one, especially with Brian mentioning the trend that this year has been the theme. Team that loses and doesn't cover the first game usually bounces back in the second. So that's where I'm at on this one.
All right, we got Chris looking at the total here. All right, Brian, why don't you spin the final word on this one with Utah State?
Yeah, I think in the first matchup between these two teams, Utah State had the slight lead at halftime, and then they folded in the second half like a cheap suit. I think they're going to play a full game, 40 minutes of complete basketball there.
All right, Brian here, Utah State, plus the 1.5 in this one against Boise State. 10 Eastern time. Watch this one on Fox Sports 1. All right, Brian, big weekend coming up of hoops tonight. There's a good card, NBA, and, of course, a lot of the small college hoops going up. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I'll tell you what, guys, I need to get back on track. This has been a rough patch for me. But with any handicapper, you got to stick to your guns, stick to what got you here. And I'm going to have a big card of games tonight and tomorrow and through the weekend. So you can get my 3-day pass for just $75 at pickdogs.com. That's $40 off the normal price. But if you want the best value, check out the YouTube premium pass that you can get at the Pick Dogs channel. You get me, Rod, Chris, and Mitch every single day, $30. Can't beat that bargain.
A great bargain there with YouTube Premium right there on the channel. Of course, guys, you can pick up Brian's pass for tonight to get those winnings. Go to the upgrade from Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. He's got the 7 and 30-day all sports pass. It'll be every play that Brian releases at the site. You set the terms. All right, Brian, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night. We'll watch and listen to you tomorrow, Saturday, at 10 a.m. Eastern time with a big card from Hoops.
My favorite day of the week is Saturdays because I love college basketball and I love my good buddy Ron Romanelli, who's going to be there. Taking him under my wing. We're going to rock out tomorrow with the boys.
Yeah, of course, you got that big card. You're going to be sprinkling some on Saturday, looking for some money line dogs.
sprinkling a lot of money line dogs. It might not be like Rod's big play with the Thunder money line, but I'm going to look for some plus 125s, plus 130s tomorrow.
All right, we'll look for some sprinkle Saturdays there from Brian Bitler. All right, Brian, we'll watch you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, back on Monday on the Drive-Thru. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. Guys, reminder, keep those thumbs up coming up. We appreciate the likes. It helps us grow our audience. And, of course, for those of you that are joining us late, a reminder that we will recap every single play on the show at the end, so stay tuned. All right, let's continue on here. It's time to bring on our buddy Jeff Jeter. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing great. Very excited about the weekend coming up here, Tony.
All right, so am I. All right, you're looking at some NBA tonight, 9 Eastern Time. NBA League Pass channel has the Timberwolves to host the Raptors. Raptors road favorites 3.5, total 225.5.
Yeah, and I'll get you started here with the Raptors. They're 12-5 to the over on the road this season here coming into this one. And over the last 11 games, they've hit the over in the last 9. The thing of it is with Toronto, they've only scored under 110 points once in the last 10 games. And on the season, they've been averaging 114.1, which is 11th in the NBA. I do know this marks the third game in 4 nights for the Raptors. I mean, they've had a pretty brutal schedule here just over the last few days. Especially with like a back-to-back against Milwaukee. But at least with Milwaukee, they've been kind of on a skid here lately. But anyway, moving to the other side, looking at Minnesota, they've been allowing 116.2 points per game this season, which is almost near the bottom of the NBA. It's 27th. In fact, it's been pretty much defense optional here. But the thing about the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have put at least 112 up in all but one game, over the last 8. So they've been scoring pretty well. I know this line opened up at like 230.5, and it's come down a little bit. Probably waiting on some Kyle Lowry news, but I do realize Kyle Lowry's missed like 4 games this year for the Raptors, and 3 of the 4 have gone under the total in that. But I just think that with this defense optional going on in Minnesota, I just don't know any other way to play it except to go over total here. Call me a square, but I just don't see any other way to really go in this game. And so take that over tonight.
Yeah, over here with this Timberwolves Raptors game here. Chris, I've looked at this Raptors team. They've improved their offense, but the defense has slipped up a little bit. In Minnesota, well, they still haven't figured out the defense in years.
No, and that's kind of why they're always picking ping pong balls. But this Toronto team, I mean, the line's dropped to 225.5. Again, this is one that could honestly go either way, and that's why it's one of the tougher totals on the board. But I think I'm going to lean towards the over as well. I think we have seen that defense has been optional with this Minnesota team, and if we get something around like 117 to 109, which is very well where this game could end up, that gets us just over that 225.5. And like I said, it's one of the tougher ones on the board, but I think we've got a winner with the over in this one.
Agreements here on the over here, 225.5 Raptors and Minnesota. This one, the start time, 9 Eastern Time, NBA League Pass channel. All right, Jeff, good night of hoops up there, NBA and some college. Past 7 days, over 200 units of profit. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, got the Fast Break Friday 5-pack up here for tonight. Got 3 premium selections for the NBA tonight, as well as 2 over at college basketball. Don't forget, we got a truck race tonight in NASCAR down back at Daytona on the road course. I've got you a 3-pack of head-to-head matchups over there on the Pig Dogs website under the premium this evening as well. Looking forward to that. And, of course, this is mixing in with NASCAR now that's underway. This is a great time to take a test spin, $69.99. For the weekend. You can get all of my picks. There's going to be a ton of picks out there on my 3-day pass, and that will include NASCAR coming up this weekend at the Daytona Road Course, and make that money, jump on one of those longer-term passes as well.
That's right, guys. Check out Jeff Jeter over at Pig Dogs Premium. You see the numbers, over 200 units of profit past 7 days. He's got his NASCAR pass for the weekend, or if you like to go with the sports, he's got those all-sports passes that will include the NASCAR and the major sports, NBA college hoops. So that 7-day, 30-day pass is there. If you want to try them for the weekend, go with that 3-day take your winnings on Monday and upgrade to that 30-day sports pass and get every play that Jeff releases over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Jeff, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. We got you for the final segment.
Yep, catch you guys in a few minutes.
All right, Jeff Jeter here on the drive-through. I will continue on here with the coverage. A reminder to you that if you missed any of the picks, don't worry, we'll recap them at the end of the show. All right, let's continue on here. Let's cross our fingers. We got Goran. We had some mic issues.
We have a backup plan in case something goes haywire.
In case something goes haywire, we have a backup plan. So let's welcome Goran to the show. Goran, how are you doing today, Goran?
Hey guys, am I alive?
You are alive. We can hear you, but we can't see you. So I guess
looks like you're hiding behind the blinds.
You're hiding behind the blinds. So it's.
I am really not.
All right, it's all right. It's okay as long as we can hear you. We'll roll with this. All right, let's take a look here at your games for tonight. Actually, for tomorrow, it's Liverpool and Everton, and we got the two-way lineup here. Liverpool laying a goal -1.5 and -1.5. Everton +1 +1.5. Total sits here at 2.5. Do we have Goran? We had sound with Goran for just a second, and then we lost it. So, Chris?
You really do not like him here. It's because he was going to take Liverpool.
Was he?
I'm kidding.
All right. I see some movement there from you, Goran. Well, we had the sound. The sound was going, okay, why don't you give us your pick?
The technology is not working in my apartment anymore.
We want the pick. That's all we want is the pick. It's okay.
I have Liverpool and Everton, and I'm looking at this game, and I decided to go with both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, because Liverpool is a bad defensive team at the moment, but they are scoring goals, and so does Everton. So if Everton is ever going to beat Liverpool, it's going to be in this game, but I wouldn't hold my breath because they haven't beaten Liverpool since 2010, and Liverpool hasn't lost a home game to Everton in their last, 23 games or so. So I'm going to go with goals here.
All right, Goran, looking here at goals. Over 2.5 goals. Both teams to score. Return here is +100. All right, Chris, how do you see this one?
First of all, I'm actually disgusted with myself because I just looked at the screen and noticed I'm wearing red, which is something that is a cardinal sin if you're an Everton fan. And especially on the day before a rivalry game. You know what? I gotta agree with him with Goran on this front, just because the last 5 games between Liverpool and Everton, where both teams have scored, it's gone over 2.5. So I agree with this one. You know what though? I think Goran's right. If there is a time for Everton to actually beat Liverpool, it's now. You know, they are Liverpool is shaky at the back. They've got a bunch of defenders injured. You know, Everton are scoring goals like they're going out of style right now. They have a dynamic pairing up front in Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. And I can't say anything else. I mean, I agree. I think if they're going to beat them, it's the time is now, and you're getting pretty good odds on Everton. And there's the thing to consider this time around is there's no rivalry home atmosphere for Liverpool. You're basically just going in and trying to do business like it was at any other ground, but the result still counts. So the home field advantage is gone for Liverpool with no fans. I think this is Everton's best chance to get a result at Anfield, so I'm taking Everton on the money line as well.
Everton money line as well from Chris Ruffolo.
I'm
All right,
grabbing
Goran.
the odds on that.
And the odds on that. All right, Goran. Let's take a look here. What you got? Past 30 days, pretty good here. Over 748 units of profit. What you got going on this weekend from your European soccer over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Absolutely, Tony. And just to let Chris know, I was nodding the whole time.
I have a hard time believing that sometimes, but I'll take your word for it on this one.
Yeah, I made a nice profit with my 3 games today, and I'm getting another 5-pack ready for tomorrow. There's not a huge selection of games for tomorrow because a lot of teams are playing on Sunday, and I'll try to be as selective as possible to get the best picks out there. But we'll keep winning money with this weekend and again with the Champions League next week.
Absolutely, guys. Get on board with Goran Kucar. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Over 748 units of profit here from Goran. It's documented over at Pig Dogs Premium, and that is over his past 30 days. So get on board with Goran and his premium plays. Of course, Goran, I know you also put content up at Sports Chat Place.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day, and there's games every day. As long as we have games, there are free picks there are free picks up on the Sports Chat Place.
All right, guys, check him out. Goran Kucar, you'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. You see the numbers have been fantastic. It's fully documented. And get one of those long-term passes from Goran Kucar. All right, Goran, as always, great having you on the show. All right, let's get that camera and mic going together next week. We'll talk to you then.
Absolutely. I'll do my best. If not, right. if no, I'm burning everything down.
All right, there you go.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
you.
Oh. He's going to do
By the way, I did check. For Everton money line, you're getting plus 600. So those are fantastic odds. Or, I was doing something else. I'm not trying to hog the time up here. But 3 of the last 4 meetings were draws. 4 of the last 6. 5 of the last 8. So if you're not comfortable with taking Everton on the money line, you can take an Everton draw. I think it's a double chance plus 175. So you can cover off 2 outcomes with that. You're still getting almost 2 times your money.
All right, there you go. All right, Goran, that's from Chris. All right, Goran, as always, great having you on the show. We'll talk next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Goran Kucar here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on here on the show. And, of course, a reminder, we'll recap every play here very shortly. And it's now time for me to come up with my play for tonight. And let's take a look at what we're doing. We're going to turn over to the NBA, where we have the 76ers hosting the Bulls. And the Sixers will be favored by 8, total 228. This one, 7:30 East time. This will be your game on ESPN, the first game of the doubleheader. And my play on this one, I'm going to go ahead and take the dog here. That's the wrong one. That one hit yesterday. We're going to hit this one. We're going to take Chicago Bulls here at plus the 8. Chicago's been a really good bet on the road at covering 10 of their 13. Offensively, pretty good form. You look at their past 5 games, hitting nearly 48%, 39% from the three-point line. 76ers, well, they failed to cover 4 straight. Defense has been shaky for the 76ers. That's something we said about 2 weeks ago. We started to see the defense start to tail here for Philadelphia. You look at their past 5 games, allowing over 48% shooting, 37% from 3. Bulls have 3 of their top 4 scorers healthy, and they use up a lot of their rosters. 76ers, by the way, took a hit to their bench. Shake Milton has been out, and it's impacted the team. With Milton out, the 76ers are allowing 121 points per 100 possessions, approaching the bottom of the league. I'm going to go ahead and take the 8 here with the Bulls. Chris, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Tori, this was one I actually really looked at on the morning show, and I don't say I got laughed at, but I got some flack for it, and I think that I still think it's a viable play with the Bulls. This is a Bulls team that I believe they're 10-4 against the spread on the road this season. Against a Sixers team that's only winning at home by an average just under 6 points a game, and in fact the Bulls are outscoring teams by 2.5 points on the road. So I think the value is with the Bulls and the points in this one.
All right, the Bulls plus the 8. All right, guys, check out Pig Dogs Premium. I've got actually a 5-pack starting at the top of the hour, so check out my plays over at Pig Dogs Premium with my 5-pack going off tonight. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru, guys, and it's time to go ahead and recap the plays. And, of course, Jeff Jeter will join us as he does every Friday. We started the show off with Joe Duffy. He was on the Nuggets, laying the 9 against the Cavaliers. Rod Zawacky looking for that 5-0 week, and if this hits, it'll be nearly 10 units of profit because he's on the Thunder money line, plus 460 against the Bucks. Chris, Suns Pelicans over 230.5. Jovan, Clippers plus the 5 against the Jazz. Brian Bitler, Utah State plus 1.5 against Boise State. Jeff Jeter, Raptors T-Wolves over 225.5. Goran, Liverpool Everton over 2.5 goals. And both teams to score, that returns plus 100. Yours truly I'm on the Bulls, plus 8 against the 76ers. We'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
Tony, I can't lie to you. It's like asking which one of my 2 kids I like more, because you know what? I'm stuck between you and Joe Duffy. I like the Bulls plus the 8, but I also like the Nuggets minus the 9. So I think that's where I'm going to have to stay on this one. I'm just going to have to stick with a tie for first place. All
right, you gave a 3-team parlay last night. That hit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? You have a ton of great cappers, so I think you couldn't go wrong with parlaying any of these picks up tonight.
Absolutely. All right, let's go over to Jeff. Other than your pick, Jeff, which one do you like the best?
I tell you, if I had the house money Rod Zawacky had, I'd be putting all that money line on the Thunder tonight. But I'd probably take the points. But to be honest, out of this group of picks, they're all good. Love the Bulls pick that you just gave, Tony. I liked it. Got it at 9.5 earlier this morning, but I know it's come down. But I like that Bulls pick still here against the 76ers. Bulls a great cover team on the road. So
yeah. All right, Bulls great cover team on the road. I'm going to go with Chris with Suns Pelicans over 230.5 because the Suns defense again has not been very good over this 5-game stretch. And the Pelicans, they're just all offense, no D. So I'm looking for another over here from the Pelican side. Suns Pelicans over 230.5. All right, Jeff, you have a great week. Chris, you too. This is another edition of the Drive-Thru. Be sure to tune in Monday for next week as we continue Monday through Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget, it all gets started every day. So there's a show Saturday and Sunday on the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You got Mitch, you got Chris, Rod Zawacky, Brian Bitler, and Ron Romanelli joins on Saturday and Sunday. All right, let's bring in the crew from tonight's show. Let's give a nice wave. Good night to everyone. Have a great night, and we'll talk with you guys Monday,